it's Shawnee. Welcome back. So, I did a look a little bit ago and I wasn't too much of a fan, so I took it off. I'm gonna do something else. But I'm going to use the same palette that I used. And I have some singles in one of my Lethal Cosmetics magnetic palettes. So these are all lethal shades, and I will be sure to let you know which shades they are when I do my weekly roundup because I didn't write them down. And I'm in my office. I'm tired. Today should be not as rough as yesterday. Start with some primer. I'm gonna go in with the NYX Can't Stop, Won't Stop Concealer as primer. So yesterday was just a rough day clinically. Like I think most folks know that like I see everything in terms of therapy, but my specialty or expertise is working with trauma, specifically sexual assault, sexual abuse trauma. Lots of people are always like, "Oh my God, how can you do that? That's so hard." It is. I'm not saying it isn't hard, but I enjoy the work. Um, and I've essentially heard just about everything that you could possibly think. Um, Enough to make me sometimes just hate humanity. And it takes a lot to not necessarily surprise me, but to, I don't even know how to explain it, like knock me down a little bit emotionally. Um, every story is like difficult to hear, but I'm just pretty good at being able to hear it and separate myself a bit so I don't start breaking down because like one of the last things I want to do is have someone tell me their story and then I'm over here crying in the corner. So it's not, I don't want to say that I'm callous or anything, but you just have to learn to not take on stuff because that's just going to be too heavy for everybody and you're not going to be of any assistance to anybody, right? But yesterday just like really affected me emotionally. Like I can feel it in my body. Um, which is often where I feel my emotions and such. So yesterday was tough. It was tough. Um, and I slept pretty well. I think it just, it's like an emotional hangover. Like you kind of have to recover a little bit. So I did go to the yoga studio last night, but on Tuesdays at 5, they have Pilates. Um, and I'm really trying to add another day during the week because I tend to do like Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and I used to do like Tuesday and Thursday in the morning, but I'm just like, I'm too tired. So I'm like, maybe I could do Tuesday evening. Now, here's the thing with Tuesdays, I have a full day. It's a pretty chill day. I see clients, I supervise one of my associates, and then I have my own therapy. So it's an interesting day. It can be a little emotionally volatile. Um, and then, sometimes you don't know what is going to be revealed in a session. Um, but yesterday I was like, I'm gonna go to Pilates because I just wanted a workout. I was like hoping for a more relaxing kind of restorative um like class, but then I'm glad it wasn't because it allowed me to like uh what's the word? Like distract myself because I think if it was like relaxing or restorative, I would have just been meditating on my sessions. I needed just a little bit of emotional distance. So went to Pilates. Of course, I got there a little late because, like I said, I have a full day, and I had to be in the front of the class because I got there late. But it actually, like, it was good. It was good. It was a little tough, but it was good. But let me tell you about how I embarrassed myself. Now, it was the day before, the Monday class. So on Mondays, I go to um, Nikki's class. And she has two classes. I go to the yoga for stress relief and then restorative yoga. So they're pretty chill classes, and restorative is like real chill. Okay. It's just like a couple of like easy poses that you hold for an extended amount of time. It's not uncommon to like fall asleep. And I now go prepared. Like I take a blanket, I take some socks, I take an eye mask. I might have a sweatshirt. Like I bundle myself up because being very still, so your body temperature kind of comes down a little bit. It's not the brush I want to use. Uh, so on this Monday, it was a substitute teacher who I've taken before. Like I've pretty much had classes with almost all the teachers. So, it was a sub, and that was fine. First class was fine. I was a little anxious, but I think that was just, the emotional hangover. Um, in the second class, so what they've been doing is they have been, hold on. I think I'm going to start with a shimmer. I'm going to go in with this shimmer here. So I think starting this year, they've been doing this thing where they have on this board, like, I just finished my whatever number class, right? And so, uh, they'll like, when you come in, they'll be like, oh, hey, like, this is your whatever class, like, let's take a picture, right? And so I haven't done any picture yet. Like some people you'll see it's like 25th, 50th. Some guy was like 300th or something, right? He's whatever. He could do like headstands and hands, like all kinds of stuff. So I haven't had mine. Every time I come in, I'm like, what class am I at? Or we're gonna do a picture. Um, so what's today? Yeah, Tuesday I decided, no, Monday, I decided to embarrass myself. So we're in the second class, and I'm getting myself set up with my blanket, putting on my socks. I just get myself as comfortable as possible. And I see, so the teacher's in the front, and then another teacher comes in with the board. Now you can't see what's written on the board. She's like hiding it. And so I'm like, oh, like somebody in the class must have met some sort of milestone. So I'm looking around and I'm like, well, she only has come a couple times. She's new. She doesn't come very consistently. So I was like, well, it must be me. Like, it's finally my turn, right? Finally, I'm about to take my picture. I don't know what class it is, but I'm like, it's got to be like 50, 75, 100. It's got to be like one of those. Um, and all through the class, I'm just thinking like I'm trying to hold the poses and stuff, but I'm not as relaxed because I'm like, okay, like how am I gonna pose? Am I gonna do like just holding it up? Am I gonna do like a to the side? Am I gonna do like some sort of pose, like yoga pose? And then it's like, oh man, I have my hair like plaited down. Like I wish I would have worn it in a ponytail. And do I like this outfit? Like I'm just going through, right? And I'm like, how many pictures are they gonna take? What number class is it that I've taken? And like, uh, should I tag myself in the photo when they put it on the Instagram? So I'm just thinking all of this during class. I'm not feeling real restored, right? Because my mind is just racing. So I'm just like ready for when class ends. I'm just like, I'm ready, right? And so the teacher like picks up the board, and this is where the embarrassment comes. She turns to someone who is It's not me. And she's like, Janet, like, we're doing this thing where we take a picture of you when you come to your first class. And so she holds up the thing and it says, like, I just finished my first class. And when I tell you, I was humbled. I was humbled, okay? I hadn't said nothing, praise the Lord, but in my head, I was 114% sure that it was gonna be the board was for me. And it wasn't, y'all. Like, I was flabbergasted. Cause you it's like the person who thinks that they're gonna win the Oscar and they're just like starting to stand up and they say someone else and you're like, that was me. That was me. Cause also, homegirl didn't look real excited. Like, I feel like I was ready. I feel like I had the appropriate amount of like excitement going on, and I was like I was gonna have a good pose. I was gonna have like a little like thank y'all so much. I really enjoy coming here. I've learned so much about myself, and she didn't even look excited. She was like, ah, and I'm over here like. These people shady. When I'm gonna get my picture? When? I've been here, I've seen so many people not get their picture. And all y'all know me. I'm always here. I'm here several times a week for several classes a day. So I'm just like, I'm a little upset. When I tell you I was in my head like, you are so egotistical to think that it was who would I tell you I was disappointed? I was disappointed. I was like confused. I was like just personally offended. So then homegirl didn't want to take a picture, which is fine. And I'm sitting there thinking I would have took a picture if it was me. So I'm just like, let me go ahead and get my stuff together. Y'all, I couldn't roll up my yoga mat like I couldn't roll it up. I was like trying to fold the blanket and trying to stuff it in my bag, and then I couldn't find the eye mask, and I gotta take the socks off. I was just so discombobulated. I ended up being like the last one walking out the class because I could not get myself together because I was just so shattered. And in my head, I was like, you know what? Let me go ahead in this shade. It was just like, talk about a humbling experience. I'm so glad I didn't say nothing to nobody because knowing my behind, I would have been like, I think that one's mine. It wasn't. And see, when the other teacher had come in, I was like, oh, she not making eye contact, so it wasn't me. Child. It wasn't. It wasn't. Now I'm like, I'm not even excited about whenever, if ever I get my picture. I'm not even excited. I was even like, oh, I wonder what they're gonna say about me in the caption. Listen, I had the whole thing planned out, and I like I could have just relaxed and enjoyed the class while I was too busy preparing my Oscar speech. So I want to know, would you have thought the same thing? Like, or are you just like not as egotistical as I am? Let me know, because I'm curious. Let me go ahead and finish everything up and I will be right back. So here's the finished look. Let me know if I'm alone in my thought process. I would really like to hear your opinion. I hope that some of this was helpful, and I also hope that you're continuing to take care of yourself. I would love it if you liked the video, and I would love it even more if you subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.